You know it's coming, yeah, it's that time. Coming soon, it's virtual crab and wine. So join us as we sing along. Join our crab cake cook-along. Our crab cake cook-off is virtual this year, with recipes, wine, goodies, and cheer. Get your tickets online, then wait for the mail. Your package will arrive with all it entails. And it's crab, 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 crab and wine. Crab, 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 crab and wine. Crab, 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 crab and wine. Get ready to dine, cause it's crab and wine. Thanks to sponsors and people like you, we're raising funds for healthcare at MCC2. Enjoy the crab cakes along with the wine. Sip along, sing along, let's get with the times. Cause it's crab, 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 crab and wine. Crab, 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 crab and wine. Crab, 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 crab and wine. Get ready to dine, cause it's crab and wine. Crab, 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 crab and wine. Crab, 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 crab and wine. Crab, 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 crab and wine. Gonna have a good time eating crab and wine. Gonna have a good time eating crab and wine.
And welcome to the Crab Cake Cook-Along and Wine Tasting Sip-Along. I'm Roberta Gonzales, formerly of KPIX Television and KCBS Radio for over 25 years. And it's such a pleasure to come back now with my own company, Roberta Gonzales Productions, where, boy, hopefully post-COVID, we are gainfully employed. And we want to thank Travis Scott and Visit Mendocino for employing us, for inviting us here for this very special time to be with all of you again. I mean, do you guys remember when I used to do something like this? We've got high pressure building into the North Coast, providing us with plenty of sunshine. Highs today in the 60s, overnight lows in the 40s. I mean, who wouldn't want to live here along the North Coast and the great place of Mendocino, Fort Bragg, Willits? It's just a lovely place to be today to share this wonderful opportunity with all of you to raise money for Mendocino Coast Clinics. And speaking of Mendocino Coast Clinics, you know, they're always looking for providers. They're looking for doctors, nurses. If you're one of those out here, who would not want to live here? Sign me up. Speaking of Mendocino Coast Clinics, I first want to let all of you know before I introduce our very first guest is, you know, we've been working hand in hand with them, kind of, sort of. I mean, not physically, but we do want to remind all of you at home that we here, there's a handful of us, we are practicing our social distancing. We are masked up here, even though we're going to be eating and cooking, and we are sanitizing everything as well. We're doing our best to provide you at home with ideas to keep yourself safe as well. You already know the drill. Wash your hands, people. Now, our first guest today, and I'm so pleased to introduce her, and over the past couple of years, I'm actually very proud to call her a friend. It's Lucretia Renteria, and she is the Executive Director of Mendocino Coast Clinics. Lucretia.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us with this crab cake cook-along. I hope you're all enjoying the packages that you received in the mail, and you will enjoy our event today. I'm really sorry that we're not together in the tent and being able to do this live, but I'm happy that we're able to spend some virtual time. So thank you for your attendance, and thank you for your donations. Soon after our last year's event, we went into this shutdown with the pandemic, and our lives changed. And over the course of the last year, I've been thinking a lot about the origins of Mendocino Coast Clinics. Before we spun off in 1994, we were part of the Mendocino County Public Health Department. And we had been that way for quite a number of years, and then we went private nonprofit. So now we're back to our roots. Over the last year, we've been working hand in hand with the Public Health Department to combat this pandemic. First in bringing surveillance testing and symptomatic testing to our community, and now with vaccines. We've almost administered 5,000 vaccines to date, mostly in mass vaccination events, and we're headed for more. We look forward to continuing to serve our community, and thank you for your donations and your help today. So now we're going to see a little video when I got to invite Roberta to tour the clinic with me a couple of days ago and welcome her back to Mendocino Coast Clinics. Welcome back to Mendocino Coast Clinics, Roberta.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
We're so happy to have you visiting us again.
I love it here. It left a strong impression on me a couple of years ago.
Great.
Great work done here.
Oh, and we've only gotten better.
Well, you know, people are what really makes it work.
Exactly.
And you have a wonderful staff here.
Yeah, and we've actually been really working hard over the course of the last year with the pandemic. There's just been so much more work and stress put on our staff.
And I'm sure there's also expenses with buying new equipment to stay more modernized.
There is. So
updated.
I wanted to show you, this is one of our newest dental operatories. And this piece of equipment is brand new because of the pandemic. So it is an extra suction machine that's used right at the face of the patient. So it filters and gets all of that spray that's created from the work in the dentist chair. That way our staff isn't exposed to any of that.
I was ready to use it as a microphone and start singing a little bit.
A little bit of karaoke in the dental clinic.
No, but that is a new adjustment you've had to make, right?
Yes. Much more in the way of PPE and equipment and new procedures all the time.
It's a new learning curve for everybody. There's not like a handbook written for a pandemic.
No. I never imagined that we would be living in times like this. So obviously we didn't have any kind of guidelines. We just had to, group together. The whole county's worth of community health centers have been working together to try to make sure that we are being as safe as possible, still providing care to our patients and the community in a lot of even new ways, because we want to make sure we offer testing and now vaccination.
I can imagine at first, initially, it was a shock. And then it's like, how do you overcome the shock and then put a plan into motion? And it seems like you're doing it all well.
Thanks.
Seems like you're doing it right.
Yeah, we just recently went back to really providing more in-person care. Our behavioral health department is still virtual. We do video visits and telephone visits. But the in-person care for medicine came back.
In order to fill those needs, how do you receive your funding?
So we do have a federal grant, and I will say that at the beginning of this pandemic, there was extra grant money given to us to be able to survive, because we probably lost half of our productivity. People stopped coming. People stopped seeking care. Everybody was sheltering in place. People were worried about being exposed to the virus and being out in public, and especially being in a medical facility where we might be treating patients with COVID. But we started early on screening people so that they weren't coming into the building, and keeping our staff as safe as possible, of course. And so we did get some extra grant money at that time. That grant money has been expended. And so we do bill for our services. If you have an insurance, you have Medicare, Medi-Cal, we bill those services. That's the majority of the way that we make our money. And then, of course, doing our fundraising, our annual event.
If you don't have insurance because you've lost your job because of the pandemic, how do you come to you? Is that where raising money through this charitable event coming up helps?
Everything helps, because we do have sliding fee discount programs. We did see an increase in uninsured patients during this pandemic over the course of the last year. You know our community, it's mainly based in tourism, and restaurants, hotels, all of those shut down. There were such restrictions put on it, and even when hotels opened back up a little bit, there were a lot of restrictions on them. So many of them cut back their workforce, and even our own staff sometimes had weekend jobs at hotels or restaurants to make a little bit of extra money or to make ends meet. Let's face it, this is an expensive place to live. And so we definitely saw families who had new financial struggles in a community that already has a pretty high poverty rate. So our sliding fee discount program was there for them. And in some ways, just having to write off and not expect to have payment. We actually suspended sending patient statements because we just thought that there was such a financial crisis in this community that sending one other bill was gonna.
Well, you're a godsend. So that's why we need to get together and raise some money.
Exactly. Thank you.
Happy to do so.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support and the support of all of our sponsors and donors. And, you know, we just have such loyal sponsors and donors right now that we're very fortunate.
And I believe they're all ready to jump back on that, that I don't want to say bandwagon, but jump back forward again and help out again in person when we're able to do that.
Hopefully.
And hopefully next year, because that's the one thing I really recall about a couple of years ago being here and helping to support this facility, this beautiful clinic, was that we had a tent and we had people. And the thing that resonated with me so much was not only the money that was being raised, and people were willing to do it and so happy to do it, but the laughter, the conversation, the good food, the great wines, you know, and it was all coming together under one tent. And we can't do that so much this year, but we can still give and help. What do you do for those people that are eligible for a vaccine right now, but aren't computer literate? Perhaps people that are 65 and older, there's some that don't even have privy to a computer.
Oh, and many in our service area don't have good broadband. So even if they,
Oh no, you don't.
you know, it's very slow. It's very awkward. So we have actually been looking into our databases for patients who are 65 and older, who have the chronic diseases that we are the most concerned about with this pandemic, who meet the criteria that we know, and we're calling our own patients. Our database goes back 11 years. And we have a lot of those patients, even if they're not current patients, they were at one time. And so we started calling patients from our 100-year-olds down. And the very first vaccine clinic that we did, we had 4 people who were 100 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was amazed. And then we started just calling backwards according to age and going down the tiers. And then I reached out to our city, the local city, and the Chamber of Commerce, and asked them to send out an email to all of the essential businesses that were on the list of eligible employers, and to send me lists of people that we could contact in order to get them vaccinated. And so we really paired up with the city of Fort Bragg, the Mendocino Coast Chamber of Commerce, and the local businesses to get people vaccinated as soon as possible. We've done almost 5,000 vaccines.
Oh, wow.
And we're looking forward to continuing that, you know, into the future.
Great job. Wow. Now, isn't that a community working together? Yay! Wonderful. Thank you. Oh, you know what? I just wanted to say something. You might have noticed this fine-looking gentleman standing over here to the side here. This is Mr. Tom Allman. He's the happily retired former sheriff here in the area. And I hope people don't know you legally, but perhaps professionally or around the area just as a good guy.
Well, thanks, Roberta. Thanks for coming up. You know, Mendocino County is so lucky to have such good friends in the Bay Area, and you came up and you're helping us, and you're right. This is not a green screen. This is what we get to look at every day. And the weather's perfect, and we're thrilled you're up here. We wish we were all together enjoying the smells of crab cakes, the sounds of wine bottles clinking, and getting to see each other. So we're looking forward to next year's, hopefully next year's. But Roberta, thanks, and this is we're looking forward to having a very successful fundraiser
So
today.
Tom is going to be our auctioneer, and we're going to get to that in a moment. But first, we have our very first chef to introduce to you today. She could not be here with us personally. She's okay. She's healthy, but she could not make it here this weekend. Julia Conway. She's executive chef of Asajari Mendocino, and she's a longtime local caterer and local supporter of MCC. She's a former winner right here at the Crab Cake Cook-Along as well. We have a little bit of something she wanted to say to you, and we'll share it with you right now.
Welcome, friends of the Mendocino Coast Clinics. Today we are going to prepare our award-winning Dungeness crab cakes with a saffron Meyer lemon aioli. One of the first ingredients that we have to prepare is our secret ingredient. because instead of mayonnaise to bind our crab cakes, we use a local rockfish mousse. So I'm going to demonstrate today how to prepare that rockfish mousse, and then we will assemble some crab cakes and cook them up. To prepare the rockfish mousse, we only need 3 ingredients. We need some skinned, cut up local rockfish. We need heavy whipping cream. And we need ground white pepper. It's a very simple recipe. So we will put the fish into our food processor. And then we will add the cream. Quarter cup to every 1/8 cup of the mousse. So we'll add that, and then a little bit of the white pepper for flavor. And then we'll put the lid on the food processor securely and then pulse to incorporate the cream and the fish into a smooth mousse. We will stop the food processor and scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure that we get a very smooth and creamy mousse. The texture of the mousse should be similar to a loose cream cheese. It should be very creamy and very thick. The finished mousse will be thick and creamy and will be added to your crab and vegetable mixture to bind the cakes. The next part of our recipe is our other secret ingredient. It's our signature saffron Meyer lemon aioli. And one of the ingredients that absolutely makes the aioli is Stella Cadente's Meyer lemon olive crush oil. This oil is produced with California extra virgin olives that are pressed with Meyer lemons at the pressing time. And so the resulting oil has a wonderful flavor of lemon as well as a buttery texture. We're going to use this as a thickener for our aioli. Also in the aioli are egg yolks and a little bit of cayenne pepper, fresh Meyer lemon juice, and verjus or a light vinegar. Mix the ingredients well in the blender, pulsing, and then when you're ready to add the olive oil, make sure you have it in your hand. You're going to drizzle it in so that it emulsifies with the other ingredients, with the egg yolks and the acid, to make a nice thick and creamy sauce. The beautiful yellow color comes from the addition of saffron, which will also add a little underlying note of complexity to the finished sauce. We like to cook our crab cakes in a combination of extra virgin olive oil and nutty brown butter. And that gives you an absolutely marvelous flavor and browns up the panko beautifully. So we're going to let that get nice and hot to where the brown butter is foaming, and then we'll add our crab cakes. You can see the crab cakes now sizzling away in our olive oil and brown butter. And we're going to let them get nice and golden brown on the bottom. We flip them over. Make sure that they get heated all the way through, and again, nice and brown and buttery on the bottom. When you finish cooking your crab cakes, let them drain slightly on a paper towel or a rack so that they aren't too oily. We like to plate our crab cakes at Assaggiare Mendocino with a baby arugula salad. The arugula is tossed in a light vinaigrette, which is just salt and a fruit vinegar and blood orange olive oil from Stella Cadente. The citrus flavors bring up the flavors of lemon in our sauce and the lemon zest that's also in the crab cakes. So you can put the arugula on a plate, drizzle a little bit of your sauce on your plate, set your crab cakes down onto the sauce. Don't those look beautiful? And then garnish with a little bit more sauce and some black Hawaiian sea salt. This will bring up a little bit of color in addition to giving you a little seasoning on your crab cakes. So there's your finished plate, Asagari Mendocino's award-winning Dungeness crab cakes.
That is so unfair. It is so unfair to see all of that and not be able to taste her crab cakes, right? It's just not fair at all. That's a big thing I'm missing out on, besides seeing all the beautiful people and their fun hats, which I get to wear still, but being able to taste the crab. But hopefully you're being able to follow recipes at home and you are cooking your crab while I am wearing my hat. It's been a wonderful time here in Mendocino for the past 4 days, and I've just had so much fun. I went and saw the blowhole. I went to, I want to call it Canoe Bayou, but that's not it. It's what is it, Travis? Catch a canoe and bicycles too. It's beautiful. You've got to try it. It's absolutely glorious in a canoe safely. You're so safe out on the water. And also, I love the bikes on rails over by the skunk train. Oh, that was fabulous too. And someone who made all this possible, I call him my brother from another mother, Travis Scott. He is the executive director of Visit Mendocino. Yay! Hi, Travis. I got to get out of the way.
Thank you, Roberta. And it is a beautiful day here at Little River Inn. And I also have to start by saying that I wish we had Crabovision today because my dear friend Julia, who just made that crab cake, I can smell it just watching the video. Thank you all for joining us virtually. And Visit Mendocino County looks forward to welcoming you back as visitors once it's responsible. I want to thank the Mendocino Coast Clinics on behalf of the hospitality community in the county. Our industry has over 6,000 employees. And for many of them, Mendocino Coast Clinics provides access to vital healthcare services. So thank you for your work. And now we're going to move on to the first round of auction with our auctioneer, retired Sheriff Tom Allman.
Thanks, Travis.
Thank you.
Welcome. I really wish that we were in the tent in Fort Bragg and having those smells and things we talked about, but here we are at Little River Inn, an incredible place. It's 80 years old. That's the view every morning. That's the view every night. And we're here to celebrate the Mendocino Coast Clinic. So we're at the live auction part. So I don't want you to be confused with it. On your screen, you should have the program that has a bid now button, and that's really and truly all it takes. We're going to start with the magnificent magnums here of Pinots from Anderson Valley. But before we do, let me remind you about the raffle. So if you are registered and if you are tuning in at the end of this program, which will be in about 45 minutes, 30 minutes, we will draw a number. And the number who has to be watching at that point is going to win a case of incredible Mendocino County wines. So we'll tell you a little bit more as it is, but don't walk away. Stay here for the next 35 minutes, and we're gonna have a live auction of 6 items. And as I said earlier, it's lodging and wine, two things that Mendocino County is extremely lucky to have in our county. So we're going to start with the magnificent magnums, and we have Hush, and Hush, as you know, is always involved with the Mendocino Coast Clinic Crab Cook-Off. They're there. They're helping us every way. We have from Maple Creek, we have Ardavino. These are 2 signed bottles by the vintners. And of course, we have Domaine Anderson wine, all three from Anderson Valley, Pinot Noirs. And Pinot Noir, if you're not fully knowledgeable about wine, Pinot means small. It's a small grape, and a Pinot Noir does great in Anderson Valley. So we have Magnums here. The Magnums are, as you know, something you talk about. If you have a dinner party, one Magnum is going to just give everybody a very healthy glass of Pinot, and you are going to be the talked about person who remember that party where they had the Magnum of Pinot from Anderson Valley. Minimum bid on this is $300, and we're going to open it up right now. Auction item number 100 is on, and what's that? We're at 225. Okay, I'm not. Oh, 325. We're at 325. So we've obviously hit the minimum bid, and we are going. Once we get within $100 of the buy now feature is done, because we're hopefully going to continue raising money for the Mendocino Coast Clinic. We're 325, and we're looking for $350 for all three of these. Now we will ship these to you, with the exception of one bottle of wine, which I'll explain later. These are going to be shipped to you, shipped to the lucky winner. We're at 325, looking for 350 for all three of these Magnums that are award-winning wines from the Anderson Valley of Pinots. So if you're interested in having incredible wine for the holidays, they're good for your cellar. They're ready to drink right now if that's what you want. Bid now on the magnificent Magnums. Lot number 100. It's a $25 increase. We're looking for you. There we are. So right now, Senior R. Anthony Wade is the top bidder, and thank you to Thomas Parker for starting the minimum bid. Thank you very much. We're at 325. Senior Anthony Wade is the top bidder, and you're at 350, so we can acknowledge you. Thank you very much. Cindy Butler's in at 350, looking at the 375 for all three of these that we will ship to you in the Bay Area or wherever you are in America there. We're looking for 375. And remember, the Mendocino Coast Clinics, as we go about this, we are very fortunate to have the clinic here because they are doing the mass vaccinations that the coast really and truly wouldn't be able to handle without the Mendocino Coast Clinic. So Virgil White's in at 400. Thank you very much. Looking for 425. Thank you, Virgil. 400. Look for 425 for these three so we can ship them to you. Two of them are signed. And all three of these wineries support Mendocino Coast Clinic every year, consistently. They understand the need to have a coast on the clinic to serve the underserved, to make sure that people who aren't able to get medical care any other place can walk into the clinic without an appointment and have their medical care taken care of. We're at Virgil White, thank you very much. You were in at 400 and you're at 425. We like bidders like Virgil White. Thank you very much. He outbid himself, and he's a leading bidder at $425, looking for $450. So we're 425, looking for 450, and we're going to close here. When you have a virtual auction, I can't go sold once, going twice sold because of the delay, but we are looking for $450 for all three. So we're going to start with a going once, but looking for $450, and we'll close in about 20 seconds. Unless you can outbid Virgil White, or unless Virgil White wants to outbid himself again. Thank you very much. Looking for 450. That's going twice. Looking for $450 for all three of these that we will send to you. These are three Magnums. In the past, we've sold one Magnum for $200, $250, and this is all three of them are going to go for $425 to Virgil White. So it is lot number 1. We're going to close. Virgil White is the winner. It is closed, $425. Thank you very much. So we will get with you on getting these to you. Thank you very, very much. So the second item is you will get to see what we're experiencing right now. The Little River Inn is a historical part of Mendocino County. The view you're looking at now, if you had gone back 150 years ago, you'd be looking at ships coming in, you'd be looking at the port, and you would be looking at this. This was a hub of activity, and that's what the Little River Inn did. They focused on when they were first starting. This was where ships came in empty, they loaded full of lumber, and they went south. If you're not aware, during the 1906 earthquake in San Francisco, Mendocino County was very instrumental in rebuilding San Francisco because the ships would come up here and get the lumber and take them down. And this was a port that they would come into. we're very, very happy. So now, lot number 2, or lot number 101, is Lovin' It at Little River, and it also has a minimum bid of $200. And of course, well, apparently my wife has put me as a leading bidder right now, but this is 2 nights lodging in an ocean view room on the edge of the world. This is the edge of the world. And if you're not aware, 10 miles south of here in the town of Manchester is the closest spot to Hawaii in the continental United States. I know you look at a map and you're going to say that's not right, but you're closer to Hawaii, 10 miles south of here, than any other place in America. And it's right here. So you have 2 nights here at the edge of the world. You're going to have golf for 2. And with this perfect weather you see behind us, we hear golfers right now. There's people out there enjoying their freedom, and they're out there having fun on the golf course with a cart and gift certificate for dinner at the Little River Inn restaurant, which is world renowned. There are certainly a lot of people who come here specifically to have dinner at the Little River Inn. So this is 2 nights, this is dinner for 2, and this is golf for 2 at Little River Inn. It's at $400. We're looking for, it's a $25 increase, we're looking for $425. So you can come enjoy Mendocino County, as we are very proud to have you up here as our guest. So as we're looking at this, it's $400, looking for $425. We're talking about the Mendocino Coast Clinic, which has been the #1 clinic of providing the vaccinations on the coast. As Gloria said, I'm sorry, as was said earlier, over 5,000 vaccinations have been given on the coast already. And when you live in a coastal community which is somewhat isolated, especially during harsh weather, the fact that we have a coastal clinic here is integral. It's literally life-saving. So the Coast Clinic works very closely with the hospital and with the ambulance service, and offer services which, without the Coast Clinic, we just wouldn't be able to do. If you've been here before and you've been to our fundraisers, hopefully you've driven past the clinic or you've been able to get some tours. We want you to see what the Coast Clinic offers the local citizens here. As Travis said earlier, the hospitality industry is a very important industry to Mendocino County, and without the Coast Clinic here of getting vaccinated, we would not be able to be in the red zone where we are right now, hopefully the orange zones too, and hopefully getting to a point where we're going to say, come on back to Mendocino County so you can enjoy what we get to see every day. So it's at 400. I'm looking for 500. It's at 500. It's at 500, and we're taking care of some technical issues here. It's at 500, and I don't know who the leading. 550. Miranda Ramos, $550, looking for $600. And once we hit 600, then the buy it now feature is taken away. However, if you wanted to buy it now for 700, you could jump in and buy it 700. So 650 I'm looking for, or 550 looking for $600. And so this is 2 nights, golf for 2 with a cart, dinner for 2 at the award-winning Little River restaurant. So it's at 550. I'm looking for 600. 550, looking for 600. It's valued at 700. We're certainly hoping that we're going to hit the minimum value here. It's been very, very generously donated by Mark and Callie, who run the restaurant and the Little River Inn. No stress involved there. And they're able to keep their employees going. It's at $600, so the buy it now is off, and we're looking for $650. 600, looking for $650 for the Lovin' It at Little River Inn, and you are going to be loving it. Last week, whales were migrating. There were literally dozens of whales that could be seen from the shore, and this is the view you could have as you're doing it. So it's at 600, looking for $650. So what's that? Tammy Bucket. Okay, at $600, looking for $650. 600, looking for $650 to Tammy. We're going to say going once, but we have 30 seconds to go here. Looking for $625. 600, looking for $625. Tammy, you're leading. Thank you very much. You understand what you're getting here. 600, looking for $625. Going twice, 600. Tammy is going to get a good deal here. 600, dinner for 2, golf for 2, lodging for 2. And once you've been here, you will want to come back again. It's at 600, looking for $625. 600 once. 600 twice. And Tammy, congratulations. Yay! Tammy got it to $600. That was a good deal. That was a very, very good deal. Thank you. Congratulations. So now, this is the big daddy right here. So Barra Winery, and if you don't know much about Barra Winery, let me tell you a little bit of our history. Charlie Barra, he was a very, very good friend of mine. God rest his soul. He died 2 years ago. And Martha Barra is just a trooper, and the winery is just going full steam ahead. This bottle of Petite Sirah is not a Magnum, as you see the Magnum now, but I want to make sure I pronounce it right. It is a, yes, a Jerry. No, the Jeroboams are there. Yeah, that's a 3 liter. 3-liter bottle. So this is 20 glasses of wine. 20 glasses of wine, so we're hoping you're going to share with friends and neighbors. If not, we hope you're going to drink it at home and not drive afterwards. But yes, this is signed by Martha Barra, who's a dear, dear friend of mine, as well as an incredible supporter of the Mendocino Coast Clinics. And so this is a 2016 Petite Sirah, and it also has a $200 minimum bidding on it, and it'll be going up to $25. And so I will be told when there's a bid on the Martha Barra Petite Sirah 2016 3-liter bottle. Okay, all right, we're rebooting. So as what? 275. So we're $275, looking for 300 for Martha's Petite Sirah. And let me tell you this: if you are going to travel up here, and while we will ship this to you if you prefer. If you do drive up and we can deliver it to you, I will call Martha and I will make sure that you get the best tour possible of the Barra Winery in Redwood Valley possible. 300. It's at $300. Thank you very much. And who's the winning?
It's Tammy again.
Tammy Baca. Tammy's in at 300. Wait a minute, Tammy. Are you going to bring this to Little River? Is that it? So we're in at
350.
We're at 350. Looking for 375. Virgil White. Virgil, thank you very much. Remember last time you outbid yourself. You're welcome to do that again. Virgil in at 350, looking for 375 for Martha's Petite Sirah. Martha, if you're watching, thank you very much. You've always supported Mendocino Coast Clinics. You always have fun over here pouring wine and enjoying the crab cakes. Maybe next year we'll be able to do the exact same thing and have the smell of the crabs cooking and have lots of laughter and the Thanksgiving coffee, everything that we've experienced in the past, maybe next year. 375. We're at 375, and who's winning? Leslie Chavidio. Leslie, thank you very much. 275, looking for $300 for this that we will ship to you in the Bay Area or wherever you are. 2016 Petite, and this is. Let me tell you a little bit about this. This was aged in a barrel for 18 months. It was not a stainless steel tank. This was aged in a barrel for 16 months, and then it was put in a bottle. And this is certainly ready for cellaring, to place in your cellar, or it's ready for drinkering right now too. If you don't want to put it in your cellar, really and truly have that nice close bubble group into your house and open up this bottle. You will not want to get rid of this bottle when it's empty. This is a bottle that your grandkids are going to want to throw dimes and quarters and pennies in. This is a great conversation piece right here. So we're at 375, looking for 400. Thank you very much. And who's the bidder at 375? Leslie, you're at 375, so it's going once, looking for 400. 375 to Leslie. Going once, looking for Virgil. Come on, you can get in at 400. 375, looking for 400, and we will ship it. Okay, twice. It's going to Leslie. 375, looking for $400, and it is sold at 375. Thank you very much. So now we've had 3 live auction items, and we're about to take a break and go back to Roberta. So remember, you have to be tuned into this if you want to be eligible for the raffle that we're going to have here in about 20 minutes. So just stay tuned. Roberta?
I just have to say, you are amazing. I have never been a part of an auction virtually before when you have to be so dependent on cell service and internet in an area that isn't so favorable for it. And here you're doing a magnificent
Oh,
job.
thank you.
Come
Thank
on.
you.
Thank you. And you know, we can't say this enough that we are here at the Little River Inn, and here at the Little River Inn, this may help if I hold this up, right? You think I would know that. But again, this is all virtual. It's all new to all of us. But I got to tell you, again, here we are at the Little River Inn. Callie Dem, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for allowing us to be staging this crab cake cook-along, wine tasting, sip-along as well here today. A magnificent place. We cannot say enough of it. It really is chicken soul. Chicken soup for the soul. Staying at the Mallory House or staying here. I had the opportunity to do both as well as eat here. And that brings me to my next guest. He is wonderful. And I got to tell you something. I have never tasted a roasted cauliflower with curry sauce that has knocked my socks off like the one I had here at your restaurant. We have Jason Acevedo. He is the chef de cuisine from the Little River Inn. And I want to thank you, sir. I just had the best dinner the other night. It's memorable. What do you have for us today?
We are making crab cakes.
Well, of course we are. But what is going to make your crab cake so special than all the other ones?
Well, for one, and the main thing is these crab cakes just literally have enough breading to hold them together.
Okay.
So
Is it a special breading?
just panko. And the other thing is we make sure we don't season them till they go in the pan, so none of the vegetables leach out the water in the vegetable or the crab itself. So we get a nice, good caramelization, bring out the sweetness of all of our lovely product. We have a cooked sofrito of onions, celery, and fennel. And then we're going to serve it with a celery remoulade salad for some crunch and then a little more sweetness to go along with that crab. And a really rich and garlicky aioli. Pretty much if you're following along at home with your recipe, mix the crab and the eggs first, then add your cooked sofrito.
If someone doesn't understand, what you have done is send the recipe ahead of time to people at home watching.
Yes, for those in the kits.
Oh, good.
And we start with a really hot pan, and then we turn it down with just enough oil so that they're going to caramelize, get golden brown, delicious, and that they are not going to be swimming in oil and fried.
Okay.
We want a really good sear is what we're really trying to do. And we're going to cook it about 3/4 on one side, and then we're going to cook it just a little bit to warm up the other side. These are really fast and beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I always wonder about. How long do you cook a crab cake on each side?
It's probably about 2 minutes and 1 minute, really.
Okay.
In all reality. Because you want them warm, but you don't want them so hot, because crab likes to dry out once it starts to get hot.
Ooh.
It starts to lose its moisture, so you want to cook it at a high heat and caramelize it, but you don't want to dry it out.
Mm-hmm. That already smells divine. This is part of the smells we have missed out on, but now we get to share it with people at home as they are cooking along with you. And again, that sauce is what?
That's a little aioli, lemon juice, garlic, eggs, and olive oil, and a little bit of salt. And these crab cakes should want to just be held enough that they hold together and they have a nice bite to them, but at the same time that they're loose and they want to fall apart because there's just enough to hold them together. The egg is, and the crab and the vegetables do their work.
And again, we have to remind people at home, we're trying to social distance, keep our 6 feet, and so that's why sometimes I end up leaving the barrel instead of hugging and greeting our guests here. And Jason is now passing off the dish for me here. And am I the lucky one? Do I actually get to try this, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Don't be hating on me.
There'll be
Let's
some in
try
the back.
this. But again, you say not to make it packed too hard. It has to
No,
be loose.
you just want it to form together.
It
And
definitely,
just stay together. You want it to almost crumble because you don't want a lot of breading.
not a lot of breading.
No.
It is so light. And I love the crunch. And that aioli sauce, it really comes through. And again, what is this?
So celery root remoulade. It's a classic French. So we use the fennel tops, dill, parsley, chives, a little bit aioli with some cider vinegar to to dress, celery root and fennel, shaved
And
thin.
it's French, you said?
Yes, a French.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Okay. No, this is wonderful. And I hope if you're making it along at home or if you're waiting till after this show, you remember, again, it doesn't have to be firmly packed because I think that's the kicker. It is
That's
so
the
light.
key. You don't want them packed and breaded and, you know.
It's been nice being with all of you guys. You guys take care. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Bye. No, that is divine. Thank you.
You're
Everyone,
welcome.
let's give it up for our chef, Day Cuisine. And you do it so quickly, too. I'm just totally amazed here.
I've been doing it for 20 years, so I hope it speeds up.
No, that's wonderful. Thank you. And thank you again for being a part of this wonderful fundraiser here on this gorgeous afternoon.
Thank you, and really appreciative of all the work that MCN does for all of us.
All right, this has been our second shift of the day, but the first one we got to try, and I have felt it just come across so beautifully. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shall I go ahead and move over here and we kick off the show still? I say again, we're trying to keep our distance, everyone, so I hope you bear with us here. But Tom, is it your turn to take it away?
Well, I was going to take your crab cakes away is what I was going to
No,
take away.
see, I
okay?
figured while you're auctioning off everything, I'm going to go finish lunch.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. But, you know, we've talked about the smells and everything from the last, from what we've experienced in the past. And here we are right now, even in this open air tent, we're able to smell that crab cake cooking. And
But I need something to wash it back a little bit, and I'll
yes,
take that one.
well,
I'll
then
take-
get your
okay,
phone
good.
out and start bidding, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, there you are. So let me tell you, if this came from France, I'd use the word champagne, but we can't use the word champagne, so I'm going to use the word sparkling wine. But let me tell you what we have here. Let me show you a normal size bottle of wine. Yeah, that's a normal size bottle of wine. Now we have 2 of these bombs full of champagne, full of sparkling wine, sorry about that, waiting for someone to say, yes, we're going to bid on that. Can you imagine?
It's sold?
Take,
It's sold. It's sold.
it's sold.
It's sold already. Again, the magic of the internet.
It's sold $450 to TZ. They've sold.
Oh my goodness, that is wonderful. That is
Wonderful. I was real. TZ, thank you so much.
You know, the winemaker Arnott is jumping up and down right now. He is
Nor is
so
the
happy.
auctioneer, because I was ready to get into this here, but that's okay. We appreciate it, TZ.
Yes.
These are something that hopefully we're going to have next year too, because this is a prized possession. So congratulations on that. I can see that one of my relatives, my wife, was bidding on it too. So TZ, you.
One of your relatives, your wife?
My wife, okay. It sounds bad when an auctioneer says my wife keeps bidding, but my wife is bidding, but that's okay. I'm glad.
Obviously, the
We
former
support
sheriff job
Mendocino
pays
Coast
well.
Clinic, and I can tell you why we support Mendocino Coast Clinic. We support it because I can truly say, if they didn't provide the services that they're providing, those services would not be available on the coast. Period. No one
Right.
would come in behind them and say, well, let's take over. And so we have certainly the underprivileged, but we also have hospitality workers. We have people who just wouldn't be able to get medical service any other place. Last year we did the Fund the Future for the LGBT community. And now on Mondays and Wednesdays it's a drop-in clinic, no appointment necessary. They walk in, they can see a medical professional. And these are services that would not be provided any other place on the coast.
And
So-
then how much more beneficial has it been this year with the vaccine?
well, I'm going to talk. Let me tell you. Let me answer that question, Roberta.
I thought it was a nice segue.
You must get into the. You should go into the TV business. It works. The fact that we've had 12 mass vaccinations clinics here already, we're looking for at least 7 more. We're hearing the good news out of Sacramento of April, May, maybe June, where California is going to be possibly opened up again. But we're still looking for at least 7 more mass vaccination days where we can get those drive-through clinics, the drop-in clinics, and we can get the people who may not feel comfortable of going any other place. And when we start doing those, Roberta, if you're curious, every time that we do one of those mass vaccinations, the cost just for getting the staffing there and for the administration and so forth is right at $5,000.
Wow.
And so when we do the fund to need
Significant.
here in just a minute,
Yeah.
we're going to be trying to raise an extra $35,000 for the purpose of having 7 more mass vaccination days where we can feel comfortable and say we have worked on the coast and we've got everybody who wants to take a vaccination. We're going to get them there. So So that's, I appreciate that question. Thank you very much.
And you don't realize how much it does cost to put something like that together. $5,000 just in order to be able to provide vaccines to people. That's just one day.
That's just one day. It
That's
doesn't
just one
include the
day.
paperwork and the administration before. It doesn't include that when the 5 o'clock hour comes and people leave, how much work has to be done after that. It doesn't include the prep time that the nurses have to have getting ready for this mass vaccination. So while you hear these clinics that are doing, say, 4 people an hour or a minute, 5 people a minute, we've heard those on TV. That doesn't include all the prep work and then the after event, the time it takes. So
And the payroll.
and the payroll. And while we certainly want to thank the volunteers, because in Fort Bragg, the city of Fort Bragg and the school district have sent volunteers here that have helped with parking, they've helped with traffic control, they've helped with
Fabulous.
registering people and so forth. And it wouldn't work without volunteers.
No,
and we
it
owe a
wouldn't.
great deal of gratitude to the school district and to the city and to the seniors who have just said, hey, what can I do to make things run? So we have 2 more auction items.
Okay. You know
Unless
what?
they're
While
gonna-
you're auctioning, I'm going to eat.
Unless they're going to be slipped out behind me before, but here we are.
So good.
We already have some serious auction items. Hey, this is an automatic auction. You don't even need me anymore. Thank you very much. So find us in Philo. Philo is just west of Anderson Valley, or of Boonville, and it's a place that is just magical. The vineyards, the small restaurants, the stores, it's just the people. It's a beautiful spot. And Philo has become a destination point for many people who have gone there, and they've had some of the wines there. So we are at Hanley Cellars Ranch. Now this isn't just Hanley Cellars, this is Hanley Cellars Ranch House. So this is, you're going behind the curtain to where not a lot of people get to go. This is lodging for 6. Can you imagine, Roberta? 6
a party.
people coming up here for 2 nights, getting a private tour, getting wine tasting. You're going to have a catered picnic lunch by the Bewildered Pig, which is an incredible restaurant. And you're going to have 2 bottles of Hanley's sparkling wine. So this is it's an incredible thing. It's
Well,
actually
I have a bubble of 6. I can
you
bring
have
a
a bubble of 6,
Yeah.
and you have a phone to bid, Roberta. I got to tell you, 2 plus 2 is 4.
All
There we
right,
go.
Let's try this.
So we're up $800, and Bernadette Byrne is leading, and Bernadette certainly knows wine because I know Bernadette, and she understands the value of 2 nights at the Hanley Cellar Ranch House, as well as the catered picnic lunch and the private tour. And as I said, going into the ranch house is not a place that's on the tour for any other person. This is a place that's very special, and you'll be treated as VIPs. So we're at $800. This is actually a $5,000 value. So Bernadette, with all due respect, I know you're lead bidder, but I'm going to try to get it raised up a little bit more because this is for the Mendocino Coast Clinic, and we're up to $850. Aaron Parker, thank you very much. I do want to give a shout out. Cindy Butler, Bernadette Bird, Kim Kimmick Hemmings, Jim and Ken Serdiles and Sasaki, Mark Berkner, Aaron Parker. Now Bernadette Bird is back up at 9 o'clock, or 900. No, 9 o'clock. No, not quite, Tom. $900. She's a top bidder, and I hope on your screen, I hope you can see exactly what we're talking about, because Hanley Cellars, they make sparkling wine the old-fashioned way, where they're putting it in, and it's upside down, and it's just like it's done with in France. We're $950. Stephen Coburn, okay, $950 Stephen Coburn, and we might hit $1,000 for the first item of the day, first time today.
Come on,
we're at
baby.
$950. We're at $1,100. Bernadette
Oh,
Byrne,
right.
she knows the value. Thank you, Bernadette. I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you for a while. $1,100, looking for $1,150. Is a $50 this, after this we only have one more auction item, and then we're going to go to Fund the Future. So it's $1,100, $1,250. Jill and Ken, $1,250. Thank you very much. I hope you've been there before, and I hope you understand the value of this. It's just a beautiful place to be. And Bernadette Byrne is in at $1,500.
Wow.
$1,500, and while $1,550 may be the next value that the computer will do, you can enter any value you want, but it's $1,550. Jill and Ken, Jill and Ken, Jill and Ken to Bernadette. Bernadette, floor is yours. Jill and Ken, $1,550 for the Hanley House, Hanley Cellars Ranch House. So it's at $1,550. If you're waiting to do a last-minute bid, I have to tell you, it doesn't work because there's actually about a 10-second delay from what we're saying to the time that the virtual auction is coming in. So don't try to be sneaky and get last minute because you're not going to get it.
Yeah, actually, some people are saying the delays is up to 30 seconds.
Up to 30
10
seconds.
to 30 seconds.
Okay.
So-
Bernadette Burns in at 1750.
Oh.
Bernadette,
It's a
thank
horse
you very
race.
much.
It's a horse race there.
And Jill and Ken, we hope you're doing well.
Look what just happened.
Jill and Ken's in at $2,000. Hey, everybody here on the stage. Hey, let's do a $2,000. Yes. Jill and Ken, Serdias and Sasaki, thank you very much. We're in at $2,000. I'd say we're looking for $2,050, but chances are it's going to go up a little bit more. But Cindy Butler's in at $2,050. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you very much. $2,050. Looking for $2,100 to Jill and Ken. Okay, the virtual auction seems to be working right now. $2,100 to Jill and Ken. Looking for $2,150. $2,100 to Jill and Ken. Looking for $2,150. And for the 2 nights at Hanley Ranch House, the picnic. This is for 6 people. Can you imagine getting 6 people, getting your family together and say, we're going up for a trip to Philo, and we're going to have our own house, we're going to have a catered lunch, we're going to have a private tour. We're at $2,100 to Ken, so I'm going to call it once, but it's going to be about 30 seconds before we call it again. It's $2,200 to Cindy Butler, thank you very much, $2,200. Cindy Butler, thank you, Cindy. Jill and Ken, it's only $50 more to get back in. I did the math myself. It's only $50. $2,200 to Cindy Butler is going once, looking for $2,250 for this magical, never to forget vacation. It's $2,200 to Cindy, looking for $2,250.
You can ask one of your guests to throw that 50 down.
There you go, there you go. Charge one of your guests $50, there you go. All right, we're going to call it twice at $2,200 to Cindy Butler. If you're going to wait to the last minute, the time to bid now is $2,200 to Cindy Butler. Jill and Ken are back in at $2,250. Thank you very much, Jill and Kenny. Jill and Ken. $2,250. Looking for $2,300 to Bernadette. Bernadette, you're back in the running, okay? I feel like a secretariat here, you know, going da 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 da. Okay, Jill and Ken is in at $2,350. This is the best part of the auction. This is like doing it last year on stage. We're looking down at the tables and people are yelling, and we're getting the bids in at $2,350. Jill and Ken looking for $2,400. Jill and Ken, you're leading this horse race. $2,350, looking for $2,400. This is fun. This is what it's all about. It is about raising money to provide services on the coast and having fun doing so. And you're going to get something great out of it. So it's $2,350. I'm going to call it once. Looking to Jill and Ken, looking for $2,400 for the next bid. $2,350, Jill and Ken. And we don't even have to mail you.
Someone else.
24, Cindy's back in it. She's leading by a nose, $2,400 to Cindy Butler. Boy, if we hit $2,500, Roberta, you and I are going to do a little jig here, okay? Socially distanced jig, okay, thank you. 2,600, Jill and Ken. Yes, okay. Boo, 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 boo. Come on, Roberta, come on, there we are, okay. $2,600 for the Mendocino Coast Clinic. Looking for 26. Yeah, there we are. Okay. We're looking for $2,650. Jill and Ken, thank you very much. $2,600 to the ranch house. Looking for $2,650. I'm going to call it once. $2,600. Looking for $2,650. The Bewildered Pig's going to do catering for all 6 of you for a lunch.
Wow.
You won't forget. It's an incredible restaurant that just basically knows how many customers are going to have that night. And they prepare their meal for the number of customers they're going to have that night.
Perfect.
So you have to make reservations a day, maybe a week in advance. Bewildered Pig is just an incredible spot. It's just in the middle of nowhere, and it's
I need to try that.
you'll never forget
I
that.
would
So
love
it's
to try that.
$2,600 to Jill. I'm going to call it twice. Jill and Ken, twice. We're about to sell out. Don't wait to the last minute because you're not going to get it. All right. Bernadette, thank you. Cindy, thank you. And it looks like I'm looking over here at the computer, and it is sold at $2,600.
Let me see your jig again.
Okay. Thank you both. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you for Jill and Ken. That's what makes an auction. So now we're going to have our last item, and Roberta, talk for just a minute. I need to do
Okay.
some moving here.
Well, I think actually what we'd like to do is talk about our vaccination program that has been going on here at Mendocino Coastal Clinics. I was privy to be able to watch from afar, very socially distanced. But the one thing that I noticed that was just so beneficial and just it made me feel really good is people were driving up to have their drive-through vaccination. And I'm not exaggerating by any stretch of the imagination, but these people were happy. They were so happy to be at Mendocino Coast Clinic to receive their vaccination. They were smiling, they were hooting, they were hollering, and they got their vaccine and they went on their way. So it was really, I felt very privy to be a part of this and just to witness it from afar. So to show you a little bit about what we have done here, not me, I just say we because I feel like I'm part of the community now, but what the Mendocino Coastal Clinic has provided, we think we would like to walk you through a little bit of the process, but first, back to Tom.
Thank you, Roberta. Thank you very much. And you are part of our community. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah.
you very
You were
much.
out there canoeing in the river yesterday.
It was
and-
wonderful.
Yeah, good for you.
It was wonderful. And with dogs. This is the most dog-friendly area I've ever been in my life.
We have friendly dogs.
Well, I had my friendly Lenny. Lenny the dog.
So let me tell you about this. Number one, I have to do a disclaimer. This can't be shipped. So it's either you pick it up in person, we'll save it for you for next year. This just can't be shipped, or it's just going to be sold to a local person. And we're up to 650. Thank you very much. But let me tell you, Barb and Bob, thank you very much. I saw that you were registered for this. Thank you very much. It's good virtually seeing you. So this is a total of 5 liters, which is 33 glasses. 33 glasses.
33 glasses.
33 glasses of wine.
Okay, those must be.
It's a Pinot Noir, and it's from the
Glasses.
Anderson Valley. It's 100% estate fruit from
Wow.
Anderson Valley.
Wow.
So Vern Boltz has, not only is he a big supporter of ours, he's always winning a contest. I got to tell you, Toulouse is there. Toulouse is there,
Oh, wow.
and Vern's a retired fireman, and he has just immersed himself in winemaking.
Mm-hmm.
And his winery is a great place to visit, and it's just west of Philo. And you would, when you get there, you would say, this person really loves what he's doing because he's making some great award-winning wines. Now, he gives a disclaimer, says, don't drink this wine alone, which...
Because you want to share it.
Well, I think it's because it's 33 glasses to start with, okay?
I think it's so good you want to share it.
Yes. So this is, I'm going to guess you couldn't go into a store and buy this size wine bottle. This is a special made. It's something that Vern says, yes, Mendocino Coast Clinic is going to do it. So let me thank Howard Geyer, Barb and Bob Bruce, Tom Parker, thank you very much. Howard Geyers again, Tom Bruce, and now Barb and Bob are back up at $950. Remember, we can't ship it, but just call us and we'll figure out a way to put you in touch with your bottle of wine if you're the lucky. And we just hit $1,000, everybody. Hey, $1,000.
Yeah.
Howard Geyer, thank you very much.
You know, I tried it for my first time yesterday at lunch because I was at the Café Beaujolais.
Café Beaujolais.
Café
Sure.
Beaujolais, who has a wonderful wine list.
Incredible.
And beer, I've been told, because people I was with, they ordered the beer and they said it was off the hook. But I tried this for my first time, and it is fabulous. It's divine.
Well, Café Beaujolais is a great place. It's in Mendocino. And it's just
Yes.
a representation of one of the many fine restaurants we have that serves not only great wine, but great food. And we're very, very lucky here.
Absolutely.
So it's $1,050. Thomas Parker, thank you very much. You're in at $1,050, Tom. Thank you very much. We're looking for $1,100 for the Pick It Up Yourself 2015 Toulouse. Something that the bottle, you could never get rid of this bottle. Can
Never.
you imagine? That's just an incredible
Do you think you
conversation.
could take it to the winery and have them refill it?
That's a really fair question. You have to make sure it's nice and clean. You know, it has a special cork. It's sealed and a special label. 5 liters. It's 2015. $1,050 to Thomas Parker. We're looking for $1,100, but it's $1,050. Good luck. So $1,050. I'm
wonderful.
going to call it once. Looking for $1,100 for this bottle of wine that you're going to have to figure out how to get to it, and then we're going to go to the Fund of Need, and there's a few special things we're going to talk about. But $1,050 to Thomas Parker. Looking for $1,100. I'm going to call it twice, so don't wait to the last minute. 1,050, looking for $1,100. Howard, Barb, and Bob, thank you very much. There's some people who know the conversational piece of this wine here. Can you imagine having a party and bringing this out and putting it on the table? All right, everyone, I have one bottle of wine.
And you're all spending the night.
Yeah, we're all staying the night here, yes.
It's a sleepover.
All right, so it's going once, going twice. I'm going to look at the computer. All right, it is sold to Thomas Parker.
All right.
Thank you very much. All right, so now let's go to the video. And this is what we're going to do right now as Roberta's talking, is we're going to get our raffle ready. And remember, if you are tuned in now and you're a registered watcher or registered bidder, you don't have to have bought anything, but if you're a registered bidder, we are going to pull a number in just a minute. So Roberta, to you.
I've been visiting all around this area from Boonville to up to about Willits area, and one thing that has just struck me so profoundly is how many people have been vaccinated, and I just think that is so fantastic, because a lot of you, when you work in the wineries or the breweries, you are considered agriculture, and so I think it's just so fantastic that you've had that opportunity. I'm still waiting in line for mine. I don't meet the criteria as of yet, but I'm trying, and I will be first in line when I'm allowed to. But again, I think I was mentioning to all of you at home what a fascinating day it was for me to be at Mendocino Coastal Clinic and to see some of the vaccination procedures going on. And I want to share all of that with you. Are we back?
Wow, Roberta, wow. You
sorry.
haven't even shared those crab cakes with us, but that's okay. I haven't shared his
6-8.
bottle of wine, so okay, we're even there.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
So fund the future. I want to talk about this because this is a part of the event every year, which is really personal. Because fund the future means that someone's going to donate money, not for the purpose of having something shipped to them or taking home and dusting or taking their friends to it. It's just a commitment that someone makes to say, I believe in a Mendocino Coast Clinic, and it's providing the services that a community needs. And really and truly, if the clinic wasn't funded, the clinic wouldn't be providing these services. So when we talk about over 5,000 vaccinations, we're not talking about people who have gone to, the drugstores or so forth. There's actually people in our community who are very, very cautious about giving their names or so forth for whatever reason. And the Mendocino Coast Clinic doesn't care. They just want to provide the services. And so, as I said earlier, every mass vaccination that is done is around $5,000. We're trying to raise we're trying to raise a total of $100,000, but we have been fortunate enough to we've raised about 65,000 of it, so we have 35,000 to go.
And you know what I find is so amazing about that? Not just the money, but okay, we're raising money for the vaccinations and other programs, but when you go and take a tour of the Mendocino Coastal Clinic, they've had to implement a whole bunch of new procedures because of COVID, all the way to the dental offices with the new mask that they provide. It's not just a mask for people to wear, it's like this air suction mask that, it's all COVID checked off, so they've had to spend a lot of money.
And Roberta, they're not just doing vaccinations. They're still doing all the other services they did before.
Right.
And so
prenatal,
acupuncture,
absolutely, dental, medical.
Let me talk about dental. 2 years ago, we raised money for a new dental clinic. And I didn't know this until I asked the question. The special dental chair that was ordered took 7 months to get here after it was ordered. It's in now. The Fund the Future from 2 years ago for the dental office is in full operation. And we had fun with that fund and need because people were buying specific.
Yeah, I think one of the first clients was one of our judges for the crab cook-off because he broke a tooth the morning of the crab cook-off and had to go to the dentist. And I think you're able to help him if you all remember that really well. So I just had to eat his crab too. But okay.
But the Fund the Future really and truly, the clinic walks the walk. When they say they're going to raise money and spend it specifically towards something, they're dedicated to doing that. Last year with the open door with the LGBT community, led to the Mondays and Wednesdays walk-in clinic for people who wouldn't feel comfortable going to another place. And it's one of these things that, as a resident of Mendocino County, makes me feel good to know that we have these services available, because if people just wouldn't get the medical care they needed if it wasn't for the clinic. And we have nurses and doctors and the clerical staff and so forth. The support group is there just to make sure that the right services are provided. And so this year, the Fund the Future is for the more vaccinations. It's for the pandemic and this isn't going away anytime, in the next couple months. Even though our counties may open, we're still going to need aftercare.
Yeah.
But I do want to tell you this: it wouldn't be the Mendocino Coast Clinic Crab Cook-Off without two really special people.
Oh yeah.
And so, if you've been there before, you know that I'm standing on that circle up on top, and we have the auction going, and I know where people sit. And there's banter going back and forth because every year they sit at the same spot, and I think they yell the same things at me, but that's okay. But two people have consistently not just been involved in the fundraising, but they've encouraged their friends to come up and be here. And just like you're from the Bay Area, these two people have brought people up to the Bay Area that have become part of our community. I mean, I feel as if I know them every year, and they are very comfortable up here. So I would ask Dr. Debbie Wyatt and Andrea Hest to come up, because and all I know is they're making a presentation. I don't know anything else. They're coming right up here. Before we get to that, I want to thank you, because seeing familiar faces out in the crowd and bringing your friends and laughing and enjoying us for the right purpose is one of the reasons that I always volunteer to do this, because you make my life happy. You really do. So thanks for being part of the Coast Clinic fundraiser. And
Absolutely. Yep. And we're delighted to be here. The pandemic couldn't keep us away, so we're here anyway.
so you
Hey,
just...
How about this? How about this? I'm
Yes.
still trying to stay away. But
Okay.
So we were just
I've been
presented
vaccinated.
a check for $4,000. Incredible.
Great. Great.
Thank you very, very much.
Well, it's our pleasure always to be here and to be part of this, and feel very much a part of this community. I think we've missed one crab cake cook-off in 26 years history or whatever, so we're thrilled to be here this year.
Yep.
Well, your belief in what we do is appreciated,
Yep.
and your support. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. And they reminded me as I handed off the microphone, they have been vaccinated.
Yes. I got my second shot here a couple weeks ago. I'm very
Good for
fortunate
you.
to have been vaccinated. So we're going to start the Fund the Future after we...
No, I think we go ahead and go with the Fun of Future now. Do you think so? I believe we do. Why
All
don't we
right.
go ahead and kick it off?
Okay. I thought we were going to have the video of the vaccination clinic.
Oh, we did that.
We did that. So,
did that.
sorry,
Yeah.
I was over there off.
You were
off-
working.
I was working.
You've been a very busy man. During
So the-
retirement,
Yeah,
you're
that's
busy.
post-retirement, yeah. So we're going to start with the Fund of Future. And of course, I want to acknowledge anybody who wants to donate, and you can do it just the same way as you were bidding. If some people want to donate anonymously, we certainly will appreciate that. But I want to read off some names. I want to read off the Julie Rose. Thank you very much. My wife and I donated. Cindy Johnson, thank you very much. You were bidding and you donated. Shirley McAllister, thank you. Cindy Butler, thank you. Thanks for
Very
being
much.
active in the auction
Yes,
and
being
for
there.
donating. Miranda Ramos, you were active in the auction too. Thank you. Senor Anthony Wade, thank you very much. And you were active in the auction, and that's how auctions work. Donald Walter Pukowski, thank you very much. A very significant amount. Thank you very much for understanding what we do and appreciating the hard work that the volunteers and the staff do. at the clinic, thank you very much. Jamie, JP Hall Peters, thank you very much. Julia Conway, thank you very, very much. Thank you for your donation. Trevor Orchard, thank you. Bernadette Byrne, very active in the auction, very active in our community, in the wine community. Thank you very much. Leslie Sorvidio, thank you very much for the donation. And Thomas Parker, active in the auction as well as the Fund the Future. And the Fund the Future, F-U-N, there you are. Thank you very much. And so if you're watching and you would like to participate in the Fund the Future, here's my commitment to you. My commitment is the monies that you are going to donate are going to be used appropriately. They're not going to be paid for travel, for administrators to go elsewhere. They're going to be used to provide services to the underserved and to the needy part of our community that just can walk in and say, I need some help. And I know that in the pandemic, not everybody is able to donate, and I appreciate that, and this is not supposed to be any kind of guilt trip. What this is for is if you're watching this and you understand what the clinic does and you're in a position to donate, this is a time that we'll be able to, we're a genuine 501c3, we get the receipts out to you, but more importantly, you can feel good about knowing that your money is going to be used appropriately and going to the right thing. So Tammy Baca, thank you very much. Thank you for another very generous donation of it. We've at 29,446 without the 4,000. So add 4, so 33,446. This is going towards the 35,000. Or really? So we're almost to. I want to make sure I'm talking and ask a question. Part of the 65, okay. All right, so when we talk about the $5,000 of the cost of doing this, and we're talking about planning for 7 more, that isn't just for the initial vaccination, it costs as much to do, round 2 when you're using the Pfizer vaccination and so forth. It costs just as much to do the second as it does to do the first. And so our clinic, listen, I'm going to give a shout out to a radio station here, and I know we didn't talk about it. But our radio station, KOZT, and it's accessible on the internet, they have weekly updates with the clinic, with the clinic coming in or on the phone and saying, this is what we're doing right now. And it's not
that's cool.
It's not just telling people what we're doing, but it's advertising for the other people, for people who might need it. Hey, this is where I can get my vaccination shot, and so forth. Michael Halter, thank you very much for your donation. Thank you, sir. And so KOZT, please, Tom and Vicki, if you're watching, I hope you know how much we appreciate you allowing us to get the Coast Clinic information out. We get Dr. Miller's report on a weekly basis, and it has no fluff. Dr. Miller just basically tells us exactly what it is, and that's nice to hear. It's good to hear Joe Rogelski talk to him and get the answers to questions. And our goal is 100,000, and we're at 29,546.
So I just got a message from one of our staff members on Roberta Gonzales Productions, who happens to be my better half as well. Stephen Farrell wants to donate $100. So if we can tally that up.
Stephen, all right.
Stephen Farrell.
Stephen, are you watching right now?
He is. He's watching.
So Stephen, I hope that she's going to figure out how to bring you some crab cakes, because
he does too.
Okay, very good. Okay, because she's the only one on the set who's been able to enjoy them, okay?
Oh, there he is over there now.
Okay.
Mr. Stephen Farrell.
Okay.
In the house.
The Hughes. Yeah, Kathy and John Hughes. So not only are they generous donators, and they donated $5,000 earlier to this, but they are one of those. I can tell you exactly where they sit, what table, and they are full of fun. They make us laugh, and they enjoy this. The Crab Cook-Off is a fundraiser, but it's a huge social event. And you get to enjoy the crab cakes, you get to enjoy the wine, you get to have Thanksgiving coffee.
Well, that's the one thing Travis and I were discussing yesterday when we were out there, canoeing and all, or on the bike rails. we were talking about the laughter. We really miss the laughter and just, people just getting to break bread together, and in this case, eat crab together and share a little lascivious libation together and just enjoy each other's company. And I think we're all going to be cherishing that a lot more when we're so-called back to normal.
Yes. Breaking bread or breaking Kimmy's Pies. Kimmy's Pies is always there.
Yes.
In the back there, supporting this. And so this is just a great time. So let's hope that next year we can do it. No promises. It all depends on if we can get everybody vaccinated.
Well, I'm just impressed that we're able to pull this off.
Well, I'm impressed that there's people who are spending part of their Saturday with us.
Yes.
And understand the significance of what the Coastal Clinic does for everybody involved. So the Fund to Need, I'm going to guess, is going to stay open.
Okay, great.
It's going to stay open. And we're going to certainly acknowledge everybody that we can. But if you'd like for us to give you a shout out, please press that button and just donate now so we can give you the acknowledgement. There's a couple other names here. Trevor Orchard, thank you very much for your donation. We have a green thermometer. Certainly we'd like to get up to the 100,000.
So while you keep that open, I think it's time for you to pull the raffle wine prize.
Okay, so I have this program. I'm going to get a number.
Okay.
And then we're going to yell out to the registration of what number line of the people who are active. And then if I call your number and I'm given your name and I call out your name, then I'm going to give you a cell phone number. If you call, then that proves that you're watching right now, and we're going to get your information so we can send you the case of wine. So, number 33. Can you tell me who is number 33? Barb and Bob Bruce, who have been donating or have been auctioning Barb and Bob Bruce. So, Barb and Bob, if you're watching right now, call 707-272-4924. I'll say it slower, 272-4924. And if my phone rings, it proves that you're watching. And if not, we're going to go on to the next number, which my phone will give me. Barb and Bob, I hope you're watching. I have 2 bars here.
Or they can text you.
They can text me. Absolutely, you can text.
Or they can send smoke signals.
Yes. Yes.
Would be nice to hear from you because you are the raffle winner.
Barb and Bob, you are the raffle winners if you can call for this. Roberta, to you. Anything?
Well, I think we have to wait to see if they're going to call in. But while we're waiting to see if they call in, if they don't, then we'll pick another raffle winner. But I think at this particular time, once we start to wrap up this crab cake cook-along and wine tasting sip-along, I believe Travis and Lucretia had a couple of last-minute words to thank particular people who have made this day possible, who want to just basically have this opportunity to thank all of you at home for supporting the Mendocino Coastal Clinics. Lucretia, would you like to say a few words? Hate to put you on the spot there, but I know that you are very, very grateful for all. And here, I can wipe this off here for you. And she has been vaccinated too.
Thank you so much, everybody. This has been a great event. I do miss the tent. I do miss the laughter and the fun and all of the people. And I miss tasting the crab myself. But thanks for all that you've done. I really want to thank Little River Inn, Callie, and Mark for hosting our virtual event. Thank you to everybody who pulled this off. It is much harder than a live event, I think. This is a very interesting experience. Thank you again to all of our donors. Look at that, we're up over $30,000. Deb and Andre for being such staunch supporters always, and also John and Kathy Hughes for always being there for us. Thanks, Roberta and Tom, for helping us do this, and I really appreciate all of your work today.
Looks like
I have Bob on the line right now, and I'm letting him know that he won a case of 12 nice bottles of wine. So congratulations. Yes, and thank you. Perfect. All right. Yes, next year maybe. All right. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Bye. This is great. This is wonderful. All right, so I'm going to sign off but Roberta, not sign off like you, professional TV, but I just want to thank everybody out there who's donated and thank the clinic for what they do. You've heard me say about 20 times, if it wasn't done by the clinic on the coast, it wouldn't get done. Thank you very much for being on the radio, and thanks for being a type A personality. You get stuff done. Thank you very much.
She does get things done. On behalf of Lucretia and the Mendocino Coastal Clinics, Tom, your support as well, Travis Scott, the Executive Director of Visit Mendocino County, and everybody here. There's, we could only have a handful because of social distancing, which leads me to remind all of you to just please, I'm so proud of us as Californians that we are doing our part, especially Northern California, and especially here in the North Coast. Please keep your social distancing. Please keep your mask on, even though they can be quite annoying at times. Please do that. We need to set the example for others, and always wash your hands, everybody. And we hope to generally see you again next year. Same place, same time, be there, and thank you so much for your support. We love you all.
You know it's coming, yeah, it's that time. Coming soon, it's virtual crab and wine. So join us as we sing along. Join our crab cake cook along. Our crab cake cook-off is virtual this year, with recipes, wine, goodies, and cheer. Get your tickets online, then wait for the mail. Your package will arrive with all it entails, and it's crab, 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 crab and wine. Crab, 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 crab and wine. Crab, 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 crab and wine. Get ready to dine, tell us crab and wine. Thanks to sponsors and people like you who raise funds for healthcare at MCC2. Enjoy the crab cakes along with the wine. Sip along, sing along, let's get